All right, third and final video, I'm going to show you around the outside of the property. Outside definitely needs to be painted. The owner has decided to price it accordingly without paint. That way you get to decide what color floats your boat. If we don't have any takers, he will paint it this spring and the price will change. Dramatic columns, shake siding in some areas. Some of the shake is clearly rotted, needs to be replaced. So just being very transparent about that, depending on the type of loan that you're doing. You know, there's old chipping, peeling paint in several places. So you'll have to be willing to address that if you buy it now before it's painted. So while I'm here on the south side yard, I am right at the bridge. So literally show you what's right next door, which is the river. That was the attic window way up there, just pointing that out. All right, so you can see the stone foundation here on the outside of the house. Here are those fill pipes for the oil tank that's down in the basement. There's a incredible 3-story workshop. We're gonna go check this out together. So it's a raw space. There's no heat in here at the moment. But if you've ever heard of potential, this barn is it. So this is the door that I just came through. Here's the big double door on one side. This actually used to be a garage, like a mechanic's garage / workshop. So the owner is still working on clearing out all of the personal property that's in here. You can rest assured that the barn will be emptied prior to closing. Everything like this canoe, these tables, hutches will all be gone unless you want to make an offer including everything. So this is the right side of the first floor. There is a concrete floor here. This window has plastic on it. Some of the ceilings have some pretty, sizable damage, mold, things like that. You can see the lath and plaster walls. And now here I'm just looping around to the backside. You can see that canoe again. Really high ceilings down here on the first floor. I'm not a good judge of how high. I would guess it's 10 feet. This first step is a doozy. This is a very, very big first step. So if you can see it really is meant to be 2 stairs, but there's not a bottom one. So if you want to head upstairs, by all means, go and explore. Just do so safely. There is a handrail to grab on. So second floor, again, more potential. The floor is solid up here. We have not found any soft spots. So you are welcome to walk around the whole thing. Some of it has more like a tar paper over the subfloor, and then other sections still have a top layer of wood. There is a big double door here in the center front on the second story. Please do not allow children to touch the paint. Nobody should be touching this paint. I'm not a lead paint expert, but that is, to me, the definition of what lead-based paint looks like when it's chipping and peeling. So please be very careful. From up here, you have an incredible view of the water. You are just looking upstream towards the back end of Miller's Toll, which is a restaurant / bar here in town. This is not as tall of a ceiling as downstairs. This is probably an 8.5 foot ceiling, maybe 8-foot ceiling is my guess. There is a door here that could drop down. It's just coiled up around the staircase right now. If you only say wanted to heat the first floor, you know, and make that like a workshop, you could drop this door down like an attic hatch and prevent that heat from coming up here. So just showing you again, these windows. It's such a cool space. Upstairs on the very top, 3rd floor, there's a ton of wood up here. Some old, huge log pieces, and then some other finer details, like this is a piece of wainscoting there on that bottom piece. So could get this emptied out. I believe that's the plan. Let's be specific about what you need. You can see that under the roof, like I said, this has a brand new architectural shingle roof on this structure. There is a little bit of knob and tube right there, but you can see it dies, like it's not going anywhere. It stops right there. So that's been all disconnected, removed. All right, let me turn around safely. Hang on to my side. All right, that's it for the barn. Really something cool, unique, for you to check out for yourself. The owner has told me that this building has a town water and sewer hookup. So theoretically, if you wanted to make this into a finished living space, obviously you'd have to pull a permit to do that with the town of Bennington and follow all of today's code. But there's already water and sewer here, so it theoretically could become like a separate apartment. All right, backside of the house, there is that 3-season porch room that you're going to enter when you first get here. This is the staircase to get into the house. Brand new staircase. The seller did pull a permit to build this new staircase. They made it larger than what was here before. Lots of off-street parking. They've removed some trees, put in new gravel, and then these are brand new garage doors. So the 2-car garage has manual lift overhead doors. These do not have an automatic opener here, but obviously there is power. We have lights and outlets out here, so you could wire up these garage doors to be, you know, remote activated, electrified. Concrete floor, there's a center drain. It's all just been freshly painted out here, so it looks fairly clean. And then there's a couple of built-in workbenches on the side and across the back. And then last but not least, I'll just point out the outside of the workshop garage that I was just taking a tour of, that big barn. The outside's in rough shape. So between the siding, which looks like old 3-tab shingle roofing, the chimney actually looks really good, except at the very, very top. There's a little bit of mortar missing between the joints up there. So the siding is, you know, beyond its life. I'll say that. You can see that there's some penetrations here, there, and it's just fully like worn, granulated. So not sure if that was ever really intended to be a siding material, but hey, if it's good for roofs, why is it not good for siding? So again, just showing you that there's some penetrations here where the siding's not covering up the wood. Down here, looks like there's some pretty hefty sill rot. So room for improvement. What I want to know is, what color are you going to paint the house? I'm recommending a really dark charcoal with some white trim. I think that would look really sharp. But again, right now it's up to the eye of the beholder. Slate roof there and here have all been remedied. Seller had all of that corrected. The line goes to that fence back there. So you certainly could do a nice yard or a garden right through here. It is a bit of a blank slate on the outside of this house. And we will just end our tour over here listening to the sound of the river.